Hey, it's Carol Ann, and this is going to be a really quick discussion about facial oils. I want to answer your most commonly asked questions, and that would be, can you use the same oil for cleansing as you can for massage, facial massage? The answer is yes, you can use the same oil. But the little question within that question is, let's look at cleansing with facial oil. And so when you use a cleansing oil, you don't want to leave it on after you've finished cleansing with it. And that's a question I get a lot is, can I just leave it on after cleansing with it and let it be my moisturizer? And sorry, no, you may not. And let's just look a little bit more deeply at how this functions and why you wouldn't want to leave a facial cleansing oil on, and also why cleansing with oil is superior to cleansing with just water or soap and water. So let's just look at the pores. The pores are a channel, actually. It's a two-directional, goes in, goes out. It's filled with our natural oils, naturally occurring oils, which are sebaceous and waxy. And then that wax and oil attracts other fat-based compounds that are airborne usually. So that could be pollen, dust, pollution, um, anything that's in the air and the environment, but also anything that's topical, that's on your skin, like the residue of cosmetic products and sunscreen, perspiration. Let's see what else is in there. So you could have poor circulation sometimes, sluggish circulation lets things just be inert and sit there. So the accumulation, the buildup of all of these in combination with one another, and then the pore space begins to open and enlarge and be exposed to more air. So it's kind of a cycle, a feedback loop where more exposure to air dries it out, hardens it. So water is not sufficient to soften, to break that down, and to remove it. So what you want to do is to find something that is, and that would be something that is like itself, which is oil. So anything that is going to be oil is going to bind with another thing that is like an oil. So you put the oil on your face, and if you're using it for cleansing, what you really want to do is to activate it so that it does work its process. Now, I'm going to time out here and just go back to Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, we have learned so much about all of the therapies and the remedies that are unctuous, that are oil-based, because the human body is comprised of unctuous substances. And so let's visit oil pulling. Oil pulling is oral or dental care. And what we do is we would take a mouthful of a food grade oil. Usually sesame oil is a really good one, or it could be another oil. But so you put the oil in your mouth, but you don't just let it just sit there. You actually swish it. So you go, the swishing action is the activation of the oil. So it's like a pump and it pushes it, pushes it. It's pushing it right up to the edges of the bacteria, the cell walls, which are also composed of oils. And that's where they break them down and they also start to mobilize. So let's come back out of oil pulling in the mouth and come back to the oil cleansing on the skin. Instead of swishing, what we're doing is we're circling. So we could call it swishing, but it's just movement with our fingertips. And it's very small, precise, lively movements. And we're focused on the T zone, the nose, the folds around the mouth, and underneath the lip and the chin area. Primarily, it's not to say that you ignore the rest of the face, because also the temple area, the jawbone, all of that gets cleansed, but this is where we're focused with more intensity because we see more action going on in the pores around the nose. So you want to work, work, work. The first stage is it's going to come in contact with that hardened, dried out, sebaceous collection that's in the pores. And then it starts to soften. And the softening is beautiful. And that's what the next stage after softening is liquefying. So liquefying leads to fluidity or mobilization. And remember, all cleansing is an extraction. So it's removing. So the direction of an oil application in cleansing is outward, up and out. So could you use the same oil with a different function or a different goal in mind? Yes, you absolutely could, and you would use this now. So we're talking about a facial massage, but you're using the same oil. Application is the same, apply it, but now we're using palmar surfaces. We're spreading, we're circling slowly. What I like to think of as oil cleansing is mathematically, we're subtracting. Well, oil massage, mathematically, we're doing addition. We're feeding inward. We're bringing nutrification inward to the cells. So we're spending some time spreading the oil on the surface and letting it work itself in. At the end of an oil cleanse, you remove it with either you can use a clay mask, or you can actually just take a washcloth and wipe it off. But at the end of a facial oil massage, take that steam compress, face cloth or steam towel, and just hold it. Apply it and hold it. And so feed the face with the oils. So I am going to keep this a very simple video for you so that you have the answer to that question. Same oil can be used different ways. Definitely do not leave your oil from cleansing on your face afterwards. Remove it. And we'll catch you again on a different video, different day. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.